Longines, oh Longines,
Longines, Longines,
Longines, Longines,
short jeans.
short jeans.
I like pants.
I like pants as well, and I also like watches. So with that said, my name is Fedor.
And I'm Ross, and we're with cheapwatchreviews.com.
So today we're going to be looking at the Longines
Hydroconquest.
which happens to be probably the most popular of the Longines range of dive watches.
Yes, so if you're over the age of 65 and you want a dive watch, you might want this watch because it just happens to be a great watch for grandfathers. It's actually a requirement. If you don't have grandkids, you're not allowed to buy it.
Well, the good news for myself, I happen to be my own grandfather, which is kind of cool because somewhere down the family tree, I happen to give birth to myself, and then that version of myself gave birth to the next self, and now I am my own grandfather. It's not funny, don't laugh.
It's complicated.
It's a very complicated family situation.
But it did allow you to buy the Longines Hydroconquest, which is cool, because if I want one, I have to find a grandfather, knock him down, and steal it.
Yes, this is absolutely true. But with that out of the way, we must absolutely praise this fine Swiss watch.
Yeah, you don't hear too much about Longines, probably because there's strict buying requirements, but this is really an awesome watch. And for those of you who aren't aware of the history of Longines, there was a time that they were considered better than Rolex.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And I mean, they still have a relatively cult following among vintage watch aficionados, and as such we tend to really enjoy most of the timepieces that Longines puts out, especially some of their pieces that kind of sing true to their former glory days.
Absolutely. So this watch is definitely an excellent specimen. Just to give you a little rundown of what we're looking at, it is obviously a dive watch, which you can tell by the unidirectional bezel that turns in one direction. Hence uni.
Uni means one.
Yeah, if you didn't know that, uni means one.
If you didn't know that, you're probably not old enough to have this watch.
It's true. It's a very good point. You'll also notice it is an automatic watch. One of the ways you usually can tell is the sweeping second hand here, although there are some non-automatic watches that have that. They're pretty rare. It's a good size. It's about 41 millimeters in width without the crown. And it's lug to lug is about 51 millimeters, so longer than maybe a Submariner, but not too long. And its thickness is pretty thin at 12 millimeters, so it's pretty low on the wrist, which is nice. You also notice it's polished and brushed stainless steel, and the same is true of the bracelet, where they kind of have the nice two different finishes going on the oyster style bracelet.
I guess some of the more pragmatic features of the watch include pretty decent 300-meter water resistance, which is approximately 1,000 feet, which, while not a saturation diver, will allow you to dive in just about any situation.
That's true. Let's face it, nobody goes any further than 200 feet. It's the deepest anyone's ever gone.
It is?
Yeah, everybody else is just bragging.
Dude, my pool is deeper than that, and I dive with no gear to 17,000 feet, deeper than the Mariana Trench. That's not true. That's actually 10,000 meters, so that's like 30,000 feet. My math is really good. How about yours?
I feel like you made all that up. That place doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think it's just a chick from Brazil.
It is. I met her.
That's cool. She's very nice.
Yeah.
But I guess more importantly, this watch does feature a screw-down crown, a screw-in case back, which is actually really nicely machined and does have a very, very substantial feel. We've got, like we said, the unidirectional bezel, which feels really, really tight, really and solid. It's very solid. It's not difficult to move at all. It's smooth enough, yet still has very, very precise action.
Yeah, some of the design highlights that I really love about this watch, and we've talked about it before, there's really nothing about this watch that I don't love, which is pretty rare. Usually with a watch, there's one thing or two that just doesn't appeal to my taste, but this is one of the rare ones. You notice kind of the sunburst dial. It's got that little glimmer to it. Awesome. The applied indices are really nice too. And the polished chapter ring. I'm a sucker for polished chapter rings. I really like that. It's got a sapphire crystal with AR coating, so it really kind of cuts down on the reflections. Even the bezel, I don't know if you can see this here, but that isn't flat, it's beveled, which is really cool. Really nice machining on the coin-edged bezel, which makes it really easy to turn, which is cool. And pretty good lume too.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. While and in every video we compare every watch in its lume brightness to Seiko's, and again this watch is no exception. And while it may not be quite up to the standards of the Seiko Spork or the Seiko Monster, it's still very, very impressive, and it will last throughout most of the night.
Yep, definitely. Look at this really, really nice machine clasp. I think this is one of the things you really like about it. You know, notice it is a fold-over safety clasp, so you don't have to worry about it too much falling off. There's some nice micro adjustments here, so you can really make it fit your wrist well, and it's just super comfortable, which I think is, you know, in part due to this kind of double-hinged oyster bracelet here. You know, most oyster bracelets, this piece here is solid. This actually has two hinges, so it's quite comfortable.
Yeah, and I've been wearing this watch pretty regularly for, how long has it been? Almost 6 months now, 5 months. And I have to say that it's probably one of the most comfortable divers on, and with, I mean, obviously it's with a caveat that it's not on NATO, because NATOs are probably the most comfortable, but as far as bracelets go, this has to be the most comfortable one I've wore. I'd say it's comparable to the Omega.
Yeah.
The Seamaster, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just, I think the fact that it sits so low and the fact that it's kind of a longer case makes it really, really comfortable. And really just a beautiful watch that's versatile. You know, you could wear it to something fancy. You could wear it every day. How is the accuracy?
The accuracy we found, I mean, we did get this as a used example, so we can't attest to its brand new accuracy, but even ours as a used watch has been getting a maximum of plus 10 seconds a day, which, I mean, for an ETA 2824 is, I think, just about spot on.
Yeah, I think that's great. You know, it's a 23 jeweled. Longines calls it their L3.642.4.56.6 movement, but it's basically just a modified ETA, if it's modified at all. You know, with that you do get the 8 beat per second sweeping second hand, which is really cool. It's a little smoother than some of the Seikos we've reviewed. And I think, you know, the thing that's really tops this watch off is, you know, for the price, I think it's one of the best divers you can get in its price point.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, just for the sheer style, if anything, because at around $1,000 range, while not cheap, you're going to be looking at some of the kind of more quirky brands or boutique brands, which may not appeal to some people. We like them, some might not.
Right.
But as far as warranty and all that goes, I think, and the Swiss quality, the Longines is just a fantastic timepiece. Another thing I must note about this watch are the 12, the 9, and the 6 numbers. I think they look absolutely fantastic, and they really kind of make this watch stand out. And it's hard to see, but even the surrounds on them are in chrome, in fact, so it gives it that nice extra touch of luxury.
Right, which really matches the snowflake hands, which are really cool. And even those have a bit of beveling to them, so it kind of really shows you the detail that this has been put into this watch.
Yeah, so overall, I guess wearing impressions have been nothing but positive. You can sort of even hear the sound when you close the clasp, right? Hang on one second. When you go here, and it just sounds really, really solid.
Right.
So close, open.
Open. Wait, is it open or closed?
I can't tell. Is it open?
Now it's closed. No.
No,
now
it's open.
Now it's closed. No, it's open.
Now it's closed. What?
I don't understand how hinges work.
Yeah, hinges confuse me. I just wear my watch like this usually, and I walk around like this. I'm like, hey, do you want me to tell you the time? And then people are like, oh yeah, sure. And I pull my hand out of my pocket. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. What time is it? What time is it? And then I can't tell quickly enough because it's going like this. So I'm like, pull out your phone. And then the conversation ends. Good story.
Pretty good story. So it's a great watch, especially if you can get one from your grandfather. If not, you might want to hang out near a retirement center, knock somebody down, and take his.
I absolutely agree. I think that's actually a really good plan. What are you doing later?
Going to the retirement center.
That
But
sounds.
not to get a watch. Something else.
Ooh. And on that note, we're going to end this video because I'm actually going to the retirement center as well. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye for now. Bye.
Bye.